Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. Chris here, aka Big Will, and today we just have the last two games of the season away at Middlesbrough and at home against Bristol City. For ourselves and the other two teams, there's not really an awful lot to play for. We do still have an outside chance of finishing in the top half, but we had a couple of tough games where we just didn't get the results we wanted, and therefore a mid-table finish is where we are going to end up. If we do get a win over Middlesbrough, and or Bristol City, we will secure a top 12 finish, I would hope, depending on results for Blackburn. Um, Realistically, I think we can be very pleased with the progress. The club was just outside the relegation zone when we arrived. And in terms of general progress, I think we've done really well with the team that we've had. In terms of recent results, since the Luton game that you were with us the last time out, we've lost 3 games and won 2. The 2-1 defeat away at Lincoln was very disappointing, to be honest. I think it's a game that we should very much be winning. A 2-0 win at home against Coventry was a really good result. But then away from home, a 5-2 defeat at West Brom and a 6-3 defeat at league winners Crystal Palace. But then we won 4-0 at home to Wrexham. So in terms of general form, since the turn of February, we've won our home games and lost our away games. There's not really been an awful lot in between. And I think, to be honest, the setup we've got is good enough. We have changed a couple of player roles as well. Following those 2 defeats, we did make a couple of changes and we won then 4-0 at home. But our home form has been good anyway. So going into this away game, it'll be interesting to see how things really develop. Last 3 meetings between Plymouth and Middlesbrough have all finished as draws. And then when it comes to the Bristol City match, 2 defeats and 1 win in recent times. So, yeah, realistically, there's plenty of work to be done. And in terms of the way the squad is looking, we've had a few injuries recently as well. Players have started to come back to fitness a little bit more. The roles that we've tried to change. So in terms of the striker, we've kept the channel forward side, but a tracking centre forward to come back and chase down the opposition into that area rather than having them drop into the attacking midfield. The wingers are now going to be inside forwards rather than players that are staying completely wide. We've got Sirota going in as a wide centre back now, which will allow Cuiabano to completely go up that left wing as Ibrahimov cuts inside, and Sirota will cover this lateral area of the pitch in behind Schneider. And obviously, we've still got the overlapping centre back in there as well. Obviously, it worked quite well against Wrexham. But again, our home form has been pretty good. And from a general perspective, like I say, we have had a few injuries, so there has been a bit of rotation. Beto, bit of a baptism of fire for him coming in the games against West Brom and Crystal Palace and conceding 11 goals in those 2 games, but then keeping a clean sheet against Wrexham. So going into these 2 matches, it's basically just trying to finalise our thoughts ready for the next season, to be honest. There are certain changes I would like to make. I think 2 really good quality centre backs is definitely required. I think we need a little bit more strength in depth in the wing back positions and also the winger positions as well. I think out wide we do just need 1, maybe 2 more bodies just to really give us that extra push. Um, and an out and out goal scorer, I think, would really finish things off for us, to be fair. We've got a really good base squad, in my opinion, and there's some decent experience in there. I think a little bit more youthfulness in some of the areas of the pitch, like in central midfield, for example. Obviously, Ibrahim, I'm not entirely sure how old he is, but Schneider is 30, Özdemir 33. So, yeah, there's a couple of areas that I think do need a little bit of work, but I am hoping that we can find a way to be quite active in the transfer market. Dean doing well there with Ibrahimov. Now Cuiabano has got the space to run into. He didn't make the run through though, and Middlesbrough are looking to counter attack here. And Brooks charging down the right side, and they've got 5 players in the penalty area, and Jakub Kaczmarek has managed to score. It's his first match of the season, and it's his first goal of the season. So Middlesbrough clearly giving 1 or 2 players different opportunities, but that's very disappointing from our perspective. Defensively, we just completely got caught out there. And again, we've seen it so many times, haven't we? These slight deflections on opposition strikes. And again, away from home, we are struggling a bit at the moment. And this is why I think if we can get a couple of really good quality central defenders, I think that that will just give us the edge defensively a little bit more. And honestly, I'm edging for a really top quality goalkeeper as well. I think that is something that, again, we we could really do with over the summer. But financially, I'm not really sure how things are going to shape up for us. In truth, bank balance has dwindled right down, but of course, come the end of the season, we will have payments made based on league finish and such as well. So achieving this mid-table finish, I think, could really work out well for us. And McConville giving it away cheaply. Rubens is in, and Rubens scores his first goal of the season as well. It's been a poor season from Middlesbrough standards, to be fair. They're down in 18th place, but this is a very poor performance from our perspective. And we're going to demand more straight away. I mean, two, realistically, two defensive errors have cost us there. And again, we're trialing that wide centre-back role. I don't know if it's going to work or not. And yeah, it's just a bit of an odd one for us at the minute. And again, we're creating chances, but they've had two shots on target and scored them both. As Schneider launches it in and it's easily cleared. Picked up here by Dean into Schneider. And Dean strikes it from distance. He's managed to hit the crossbar from there and it's come out to Bar. He gets into the penalty area, fires it across, and he's got to hit the target, really. Ibrahim into McConville, and nothing in the end coming from it. And again, it's just not really happened for us. And again, their wide forwards are really causing us problems here. Brooks down that right hand side, trying to get it into the penalty area. Good tackle from Cuiabano. And now Ibrahimov trying to charge forward on that left hand side. Still going here, Ibrahimov. He's cutting in now, gets toward the penalty area. And in the end, I think he was just running out of steam a little bit. And it remains 2-0. And again, I mean, Beto, yeah, he's had a baptism of fire. The thing is, in the Championship, every team's a good team. There's no doubt about it. But looking at the games that he's had to play, I mean, Middlesbrough, yes, they've not had a good season, but they're still a pretty good side. Wrexham was a great result for us, a 4-0 win. But Beto's conceding far too many goals. And he is only a backup keeper. But with the injury that we had to Harrison, we didn't have any other option. So I think a top goalkeeper for this level is definitely going to be required for next season. But again, it comes down to finances. I don't know what we're going to end up with. And I think, to be honest, we could find ourselves in a difficult situation for the summer if we don't get any financial backing. Almeida to Rubens, and now Marshall into Rubens again. Catalano back to Mikavko. And again, they're just dominating possession. We're just not getting anywhere near them at the moment. And yeah, it's a bit of a problem. And Cuiabano's been caught out again in behind. And Brooks cuts into the penalty area. And this could very easily be 3. And it's taken a deflection, luckily, and gone out for a corner. But we are not looking sharp enough here. And I think, to be honest, we're going to change that role for Sirota to just a normal centre-back again. And Middlesbrough have just scored from the set piece, and a third player scoring their first goal for Middlesbrough, and we have been absolutely shocking here today. I mean, it's just so straightforward. I mean, the players attacked it ahead of 3 defenders. And Beto, I think there's going to be a lot of questions asked of our defensive options. It's definitely going to be a primary place of improvement over the summer. We'll just have to wait and see what kind of options we can find. Ibrahim laying it all the way back to McConville. I mean, he's done really well to get into the penalty area, but again, there's just no support there. He's managed to get it into Finback, and it's... I mean, how that's not gone in, I've no idea. It came out to Ibrahim, a huge deflection, and it's come back off the post. But away from home at the moment, we are absolutely terrible. And the Middlesbrough fans will be absolutely loving this at the minute. Beto just holding onto the ball, rolls it out. to McConville. And again, at times we've done stupid things at the back today. Finn back, knocking it straight forward into Bar. And he plays it into Ibrahim, back into Bar. Good turn from him. Plays it into back. And Bazunu just about managing to tip it out for a corner. Poor positional play from the keeper, but it was still a pretty good save. And at half time, 3-0 down. And their midfield is absolutely bossing it at the moment. You look at their overall stats, the left back, the centre back obviously is on the score sheet. The two central midfielders are absolutely smashing it. And the two wide forwards are completely ruining us as well. We've been very, very lacklustre today. And we've got to, I think realistically, we've just got to go out there and try and save face a little bit in this second half because that was extremely poor and we need to do some business in the summer. I think we've rotated a little bit in certain positions over the number of matches and given players opportunities. And I think, to be honest, it's still not good enough. I mean, Sirota, he had so much time there, he could just bring it down. Just bring it down and put your foot on the ball. And in the end, his header has gone straight back to Middlesbrough. Marshall is in behind, and there is number 4. And I think he timed his run perfectly. Well, the referee's flag's got up actually, but I thought he was onside. But this is turning into an absolute rout. And the thing is, we've had 4 times the amount of chances. They've had 3 shots on target and scored them. We've had 4 on target and scored none. Looking at the match stats, we've actually been the better side, but we've had individual errors which have seen Middlesbrough score the goals. Dean isn't going to win that. Ibrahim with that header returning. And again, everything's just falling for Middlesbrough at the minute. It's played into Marshall. And Beto finally makes a save. It wasn't exactly a glamorous one, but it's a save nonetheless. And we just can't seem to get going. We've had so many attempts at goal. And yeah, it's just not ran for us at all today. And it's clearly not through the want of trying, but we just can't seem to get anything right. I mean, that ball played forward looking for Bar, and it was easily cut out by Rubens. And again, they're just picking it up in these spaces at the minute, and they're absolutely loving life right now. Howard Bellis into Makavko. I mean, the highlights are continuing, and I don't even know if anything's going to happen from them. Almeida into Rubens. Almeida, Rubens. I mean, McConville did quite well there, actually, just to intercept that. Ibrahim to Ross, and we've given it away twice already from this position. And McConville almost did it again. He's had to launch it forward, and Stevens has missed his header. Ibrahimov charging into the penalty area. He needs the support, and again, it's off the woodwork. That's the 3rd time we've hit the woodwork now, and again, it's just not falling for us. Cuiabano and Schneider exchanging passes. Ibrahimov again getting in behind. Again, nothing coming of it. And it's just not going to be our day, I don't think. Got a few of the younger players on the bench. I think we're going to get Goran on for Sirota, just to give him a run out because I don't see the point in struggling too much. Bisant is going to come on for Bar, and I think, to be honest, even Prieto could come on at this stage. For back, Mead will bring on up front because Dean's not even been in the game at all. And Özdemir can come on for Ibrahim in midfield. And yeah, we'll just do a massive switch up. We'll offer some encouragement. And we'll just see if we can save face a bit and try and find the back of the net. Schneider into Cuiabano. Good touch from him. Ibrahimov. He's only rating a 6.4, but I think he's been a standout performer today. That's how bad it's been. And Cuiabano's strike going over the bar again. And yeah, it's just not happening at all. Again, we've had so many attempts at goal, but shots on target, they've scored 3 of their 4, and we've scored none of our 5, and we've hit the woodwork 3 or 4 times. It's just not been our day. Here's McConville into Prieto. He's got support ahead of him if he can find it. Swings it in looking for Ibrahimov. It's headed clear by Howard Bellis. And now Brooks manages to clear. And look at the space again. Toner now picking it up. Good interception from Prieto. Plays it into Bisant. And again, why is he shooting from so far out? I mean, we've actually got a striker stood there waiting to receive the pass. And he's gone for goal from stupid distance. I can probably see why. We've had 24 attempts at goal and not seen anything from it. Here's Prieto and Özdemir. Into Bisance again. Özdemir. Prieto swings it in. Schneider's header. Easily caught by Bazunu. And again, it's not through the want of trying, is it? But we've just not had the quality in our play today to finish everything off. Özdemir into Bisance again. And now Prieto plays it inside to Bisance. Back to Prieto. Good work on that right-hand side. This time, firing the ball across. That's the kind of play that we want. Yes, it didn't work, but that's what we're after. We need that kind of play into the penalty area. Özdemir and Prieto exchanging passes again. Schneider. That's a lovely little reverse into Prieto. Manages to turn back and again couldn't quite get anything from it. Palacios clearing quite comfortably. McConville into Ross. And now Goron into Schneider. Plays it forward. Quiabano in behind. And again, massive deflection. I mean, it's been rolled in. And what did every episode, Kevin Prieto scores again. And I mean, Quiabano did quite well just to cut back on that later cross. And again, Ibrahimov with the strike initially took a deflection. And Bisans just laid it back to Prieto. And we've finally managed to get what I'd term as a deserved goal, to be honest. I don't think we deserve to be 3-0 down based on the match starts. We've absolutely battered them today, but defensively, they've been absolutely solid. And yeah, we've been unlucky, I think. It's just not quite happened for us. And yeah, the chances they had, a couple of deflections on two of them, and that's it, you know. A disappointing defeat in the end. I mean, 28 attempts at goal we had to their 8, and we scored 1 goal. We're just lacking that quality at times in front of goal. I'm proud of the efforts for sure, because again, creating that many opportunities, more often than not, we will do better. But again, we've lost away from home, and we'll see how we get on against Bristol City. Um, the league table's not actually updated yet by the looks of that. But Blackburn lost by 4 goals to 0, I think. So there's still a chance for us to finish in the top half of the table. And yeah, we'll just have to see what happens from there. I will just double check the table there as well. Yeah, so Blackburn lost as well. We can finish as high as 12th. Potentially, we could drop down as far as 16th. We need to get a win. The higher position, the more money we get for next season. Let's see how we get on. And fingers crossed, we can get a win on the final day and send our fans home with a bit of optimism, ready for next season. Okay then guys, here we go for the last game of the season against Bristol City. Um, we are going to rotate things a little bit. The game is meaningless. I know we want to finish as high as possible, but we are going to give 1 or 2 players final opportunities to see how they do. We are going to change that wide centre-back back to a normal centre-back. We have tweaked it on occasion. And overall, performance-wise in the last game, I'm not too disheartened. I'm really not. Valencevic is going to play ahead of Ross today as well. Ross didn't have a good game last time out. We've got actually quite a few players that are wanted as well. So this could really open the door for future transfers. I mean, even like a couple of the youth players are wanted as well at the moment. A couple of fitness concerns with 1 or 2 players as well. Rico, I'm going to start ahead of Quiabano today. Quiabano, we know he's going to be the main man in that left back role. He's a really, really good player. But he is 29 years of age, so we do need to start trying to bring through those younger players. Sylvester, I do quite like the look of. And to be honest, I'm going to actually start him up front. And the reason being is he's got 16 for finishing. I think he could be a decent striker. Good determination and off the ball movement. Good first touch and decent technique. He could be an answer to our striking option shortage at the moment. So we'll give him a go. It's a bit of a random one, but we'll see how he does. And Özdemir can start ahead of Ibrahim. And again, at 33, I know he's just signed a new contract, but he's double the wages that he had before. He could be a player that we try and sell, to be quite honest. Giba, again, I'm still not too sure. I might try and loan him out next season, but he is 22 years of age. I think he might be a player that we'd look to sell next season. along with obviously some of these centre-back options we've got, we do need to really boost our first team next year. So a couple of changes in the defence then with Rico, Goran and Milintijevic in there. Berat's going to start in central midfield with Schneider. I'm going to start Prieto on the wing again. He does really well in that wing-back role, but I'm going to start him as the inside forward and see how he gets on. And Ibrahimov, of course. I want to try and build the team around him if we can. But yeah, it could be an interesting one to see how he does as well. Going into this game, we want a win to finish 12th place, basically. Obviously, it'll be down to how Blackburn get on. But again, we'll just see how things go. I'm quite hopeful. And obviously, we are giving some of the younger players an opportunity today. Yeah, let's just see how we get on. Um, rotational options, a couple of good young players, in my opinion, that are coming into the first team today. Big opportunities for them as well. And yeah, we'll have a look at them and see if they can put some good thoughts into my mind ready for next season. I mean, Silvestre, we don't play the attacking midfield role at the minute. That's the problem for him. Tactically, I'm not going to be looking to change it too much, but he is a good finisher. And I think, to be honest, he could be a good striker. Luke McNally has opened the scoring here. A first goal of the season for him after a well-worked free kick move that, again, we didn't close down at all. I mean, they had two players free there. And yeah, I mean, it was a very, very simple goal, to be honest. And in terms of conceding, it's very, very poor. Beto didn't really stand a chance. But all three of Middlesbrough's goal scorers, first goals of the season, and it's happened here after 9 minutes through McNally. First shot of the game comes as a goal for Bristol City. Back into Prieto, back into back, and now Prieto again, cutting into Pantera, swings it in for Ibrahimov, and that's an 11th goal of the season for him. He's definitely the standout player. We need players of his caliber coming in. I'm really happy with Rico having come in at left back. He's a really good option for us. And of course, we've got, I think it was Gooch, he was called, the central midfielder, the Argentinian, I think he was, if I remember rightly. Central midfield player. He looks really good as well. Um, so bringing in these young talents, good determined characters is what we're after as well. Hopefully, we can be setting ourselves up well for next. So that's a great save there from Beto, and Prieto picks it up in response and launches it forward. And look at Ibrahimov charging out there. Can he cut inside? Yes, he can. He's done really well. Can he find a ball into the penalty area? He plays it back. What a lovely finish from Ibrahimov again. I mean, it was very fortuitous the way it came back to him off the defender. But that is a lovely finish from Ibrahimov, and we've still only played quarter of an hour, and we've completely turned this game around. I mean, the pass was looking for Schneider. Randall intercepted it really well, but what a fantastic effort from Ibrahimov. First time hit, and the keeper couldn't even set himself. I mean, fair play. And that is a brace for our attacking midfielder come winger. So 2-1. Let's calm it down a little bit, eh? Had 3 goals in 7 minutes, split between the two sides so far. Here is Rico trying to get past Duomo. He couldn't quite do so. He's not quite got the strength to be as competitive against players like him. Here is Moke. Loads of space for him to run into. Abdul Hakim into Nicolau. Played over the top. Sheik picking it up. Has the space to run into. It's a very poor strike. And yeah, it remains 2-1. And again, we'll have a look at the league table should we get chance. That's what we're looking at. So as things stand, Blackburn are also leading. So at the minute, it's not going to change an awful lot. Abdul Hakim into McKay. To the right side for Jumar. Looking for Duomo. And I mean, to be fair, Goron should be challenging him for that. He very much had the time to. Bird into Nicolau, who's in space, and he's clipped the top of the crossbar there. And again, defensively, we're just not quite aggressive enough, I don't think. And with the system that we're playing, we should be a little bit more at it than we are. Here is Beto. Launches it forward again. Not really getting anywhere. Özdemir into Ibrahimov. And now Schneider. Switches the play superbly. Finn back. Coming down this right side. Has support in the penalty area. Plays it across and McKay with the clearance. McConville into Özdemir. Back. McConville back again down this right hand side. He's doing really well at the minute. He just can't seem to get the ball into the penalty area. McConville now, he tries it. Back now, picking it up. So many deflections. We still trying to work it into the penalty area. Could someone just please bump it in? And back in the end, just thinks, sod it, I'll have a shot. And it's come off the crossbar. And still, only half an hour gone here. It's going to be a bit of a longer episode than I intended, for sure. But to be fair, the players we brought into the team aren't looking too bad. Sylvester not really getting into the game at the moment up front. Ibrahimov, chance for a hat-trick with this free kick. Swings it in and it's hit the outside of the post. And very unlucky for him. It remains 2-1. He's been the standout performer definitely since we've arrived. If we can keep him this summer and build a really strong team around him, I genuinely think we could be contenders for playoffs next year. But we need to do better away from home. The winning at home and losing away, it'll only get you so far. Zumar with a strike across the face of goal, nothing challenging about that. And obviously Bettel's made one really good save as well in this game so far. So that's another thing to be considerate of as well. But Ibrahimov and Prieto, both of them playing the better part of the game. Ibrahimov especially at the moment. The two central defenders of Bristol City really having good games as well. And we'll tell the lads just to keep doing what they're doing in the second half, because we've certainly been the better team, I think. Match stats dictate it's been a very even game, but I think overall we're just edging it. I mean, in terms of chances, we are identical at the moment. XG just in our, well, it was just in our favour. It's been a very, very close game. I mean, you look at that overall match stats, it couldn't be closer. It's just going to be a case of who can finish a little bit more clinically. But of course, we're not even playing a striker, I suppose, technically. So, yeah, we'll just see how we can do for this last half an hour. We do have options on the bench as well, as McKay finds Randall, plays it into Sheik, and he's gone for glory. And again, he had a runner just in front of him there, and he could have played the pass through. That could have been a very dangerous opportunity for Bristol City if they just were a bit more clinical there. Beto into Milentijevic, and now Goron plays it back to Beto. This bit always makes me nervous, the tippy tapping out from the back. Here's McConville on a yellow card as well, something I might have to have a look at after. And Finback charges down the right side, swings it into the far post. And I mean, Ibrahimov was lurking there. Wickens did quite well to claim that. He almost ended up with it out of reach. And Ibrahimov just wrong-footed there by the keeper. And a first-time ball over the top, and Nicolau is in. And there is Bristol City's equaliser. And again, defensively, we just completely switched off there. And I'm wondering if, with the advanced wing backs, I mean, they were back far enough, to be honest. Well, that to be fair, he's come inside McConville there. So it's one of the centre backs that let us down. And again, Beto's positioning not the best there. It didn't really work out well for us, and it's back to two apiece. Again, I mean, Bristol now slightly edging it in terms of match starts. We do need to just knuckle down a little bit. And we'll offer a little bit of encouragement, I think. McConville into back. Into McConville. Özdemir. Milentijevic. Into Schneider. Good one-touch passing again here. Silvestre into Prieto. He keeps doing it. He just keeps on doing it for you guys, doesn't he, Prieto? He's had a really good season, to be fair. He hadn't scored, I think he'd scored one goal when we arrived. And since we've arrived, he has really turned it on for us. And again, though, the problem with him is I don't think he's particularly young either. And he plays in a variety of positions, so he'll be a useful squad player. But realistically, I don't know if he's going to be here long term. I mean, let's just have a quick look at him. He's 28 years of age, got decent valuation. He's not a phenomenal player. And if we do find improvements, he may be a player that ends up leaving, to be honest. We're going to get Mead on for Silvestre. He's had a decent game, to be fair, but he's just not quite done what I wanted him to today. Lowe is going to come on for McConville. He's not seen too much game time. He was injured when we arrived, so Lowe can get an opportunity from the bench as well. And again, we've got plenty of options that can come on. Fitness-wise, we're not looking too bad. So we'll just confirm that and see if we can see this game out, to be honest. Jumar, incidentally, a very poor performer for Bristol City in that right wing-back role for them today. That's absolutely fine. Let him carry on being that way. Rico here with the throw into Schneider, back into Rico. Schneider again. Couldn't get it past Jumar, who intercepts. Good interception from Milinkovic. Schneider, Mead, Prieto, Ibrahimov scores his hat-trick. He may have been offside, and he was. That's unfortunate. It'd have been our first hat-trick goal scorer um, here at Plymouth Argyle, and it'd have been the last game of the season, which would also have been quite nice. Still a little bit of time for him to do the job, but we'll see. Jumar plays it back to Wickens. Okay, into Nicolau, and now Flaherty to Bird. Nicolau straight through the middle of the pitch again. Cheek easily passing his man and getting the shot away. But luckily, again, his finishing has been quite poor today, incidentally. Although now that I've said it, with 15 minutes to go, he will probably get the equaliser. Beto launching it forward. And again, we're not challenging for that header. Nicolau over the top, low with the header. And again, recycled possession. It's just not good enough from our perspective. A good challenge, but it's out for a corner. And Bristol City, again, just starting to turn the screw to try and get themselves back in the game again. Swung in by Bird. Good headed clearance. Randall back into Bird again. And now Randall, again blocked by the defender. We're hanging on to it a little bit here. We keep getting ourselves ahead, but we do concede a lot of goals at the moment. I think we might have to tweak things defensively next season, but I think we do need other options. That's a really good save, actually, from Beto. That was dipping very, very harshly, and it could have easily ended up being an equaliser, that one. Again, a very even game. Bristol City, though, have actually ended up having a lot more chances today. Bird's delivery, and there is McKay with the goal. And again, it's been coming, and defensively, we have got changes to make for sure. I think, yeah, it is. I think we're just lacking a bit of quality in the side. I mean, yes, we have rotated a bit today as well. Defensively, it must be said, Milinkovic and Goron starting and Low off, obviously off the bench, but it's not been good enough today, to be quite honest. Um, Back struggling for fitness. We'll move Prieto back, and we will bring on Bisant on that right hand side, and Schneider is struggling as well, so we'll get Bar on for him, and Ibrahim can also come on for Özdemir, and we'll just revert to our normal midfield pairing. And again, at 3-3, I mean, Bristol City might feel a touch hard done by, to be honest. Blackburn have dropped down to 13th, but I didn't see if it was us that was ahead of them. I don't think it was. Bar into Ibrahim. And now Bisant launches it forward. Look at the space for Ibrahimov. Can he get the cross in? He can't. He's got to be quicker than that. Rico into Ibrahimov. Jumar trying to trip everybody up. And Ibrahim with the slightly jabbed. He slightly jabbed at it really there. But it was a decent strike, but it unfortunately did go wide. 90th minute, 6 minutes of added time. Milinkovic with a free kick in our own half. Launches it forward. Rico with the space to run into. I mean, he's trying to cut inside for no reason, really. Bar over the top to Ibrahimov. He just about kept that in. And it's fallen for, I think it was Mead it fell for originally. And he's hit the base of the post, I think. And it managed to get cleared. Ibrahimov with a free kick now. Has support in the penalty area. I don't know if he'll go for goal all the way from out there. Nope, he's laid it across to Goron, who struck it from all the way out there, and it's gone flying over the bar. Pretty poor effort, to be honest. But again, very entertaining games that we're involved in. That is for sure. But we are going to have a look at this tactically just to see what we can do in the future. But a 3-3 draw in the last home game of the season, it's not a bad result considering those match stats. But again, Middlesbrough and Bristol City were below us in the table. And I think certainly signs of positivity, signs for optimism. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, I think. Obviously, we did rotate a little bit as well. I will just double check that league table. Oh, we still finished in 13th in the end. It was Sheffield United who put the pressure on. But yeah, I think we can be really pleased with that. The club was just outside the relegation zone when we arrived. We finished mid-table, and I'm on a coaching course as well, so that's another bit of progression that we're looking at, which again could be part and parcel of why we've struggled a little bit. But it's going to be a very busy summer. I think there's a lot of players that need to be outed from the club, and there's a certain caliber of player that we need to be bringing in for next season. So we'll see how we get on. We have just had the budgets come through as well, so we'll have a quick look at that now. Oh, dearie me. £600,000 and just £20,000 available on wage budget. That's not a lot of money at all. This could be a very, very difficult transfer window because realistically, the one big sellable asset we've got is our best player in Ibrahimov. We may need to sell him in order to really balance this out and give us some more wages as well. Tough summer ahead. Let's see what we can do, and I will see you next season. And until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.